All right, hello and welcome to the San Jose State Weekly Football Press Conference. Spartans on the road this week against UNLV on a special Thursday night, 8 o'clock kickoff from Las Vegas. The TV coverage, CBS Sports Network, and the pregame show on 8:60 a.m. KTRB will begin at 7:30 Pacific time. Also, an update on the next home game for the Spartans against the Wyoming Cowboys on October 30th. That game now has a time, 1 o'clock kickoff from SEPCU Stadium. And the television coverage for that game will be on FS2. So 1 o'clock against Wyoming on October 30th, FS2, and the Spartans against UNLV this Thursday at 8 o'clock. As we welcome in San Jose State head coach, Brent Brennan.
Hello. All right. So busy getting ready for UNLV on a short week. When I think about Friday night, I thought our guys played really, really hard. There was so much good football in that. And I'm really, them and everybody, we're all disappointed that we didn't find a way to finish the game. And that's what's most disappointing. But, you don't have time to dwell on that because you have to get ready to play really, really quickly. And so that's what we've been doing as a staff and as a team. We've been back at practice yesterday and today. And, trying to get our bodies fresh and, put in a game plan and get to a level of execution that gives us a chance to, move the football and play good defense and be good in the kicking game on Thursday night on the road. But it was an awesome night in SEPCU Stadium. I don't know how many of y'all were there, but we had an incredible crowd. Our students were there the whole night through overtime. Homecoming crowd, we put James Jones in the Ring of Honor. What a special thing that was. Just what an incredible human being James is. And there were so many positives that came out of that night. And, outside the result, I think everybody involved should feel great about, kind of what's going on at San Jose State University. It was a really, really special night. So devastated by the loss, but getting ready for a UNLV team that has played good football. Their last 3 games have been a touchdown or, one score games. And so we have to be ready. And they've got good players on the field. They're extremely well coached. I know most of you are well aware of my history with their head coach. So they're going to be ready to go, and they're going to be hungry and excited to play just like we are.
All right, we're going to open up to questions. Vitas, go ahead.
Coach, I wasn't there on Friday, missed a good one, but last week he said that Monday was Tuesday, Tuesday was Wednesday, Wednesday was Thursday, Thursday was Friday. Is today Wednesday for you guys then? I mean, what day did the players get off? And, because, now, you play in just 3 days.
No, that's good. I like it that you're down with the lingo. You've got it covered. Yes, Saturday was their day off. So in our speak, Saturday was a Sunday, Sunday was a Monday, Monday was a Tuesday, right? Is that right? I don't know. I'm all screwed up, but it's a short week, but I think, that's a good thing. We're excited to play again. I think guys were excited about how we played in that game, and they're anxious to get another opportunity to play.
Vic Aquino, go ahead.
Hey, Brent, an obvious one with Coach Arroyo, but is there, any advantage or disadvantages, extra motivations, no motivations, just with such a game? Just
I don't think there's, just because we know each other, is there like some kind of advantage? Is that what you're asking?
Advantage or disadvantage, or it's really, sometimes with friends, it might be even extra competitive, so just trying to get any kind of thought process on that.
No, I think it's always exciting to play against a friend of yours. Some of those, moments pregame or postgame are some of my favorite moments as a head coach, talking with the head coach on the other sideline. And so, and the fact that it's Marcus, we had such a great experience here together. He's one of my closest friends. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him. And we talk every week,
Steve Kroner, go ahead.
Yeah, Brent, let's see if I can get this right here. Brent, first I was thinking with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if the coaching profession doesn't work out, you might be a country singer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good lyric.
If you hear me sing, you'll
Monday
know
was-
quickly that's not my future.
All right, fair enough. On a semi-serious note, in any sport, maybe particularly in football, there is the thought that when you're going against a team that hasn't had a lot of success, that it's really important to get ahead early and not give that other team the sense that, you know, this is the night or day that it's going to break through. One, do you subscribe to that? And two, if you do you change your game plan at all Thursday night?
No, don't subscribe to that. You know, and as I look at it, there's two critical things that we have to fix with our football team right now. And that is the rate at which we are committing penalties and the turnover margin. Those have been two things in the past that we've been good at, and right now we're not. And so that's where, like, that's what we're talking about right now. You know, is trying to fix two things that have been really, really solid for us in the last couple of years, and are definitely out of whack for us. And so that's kind of what we've been talking about, Steve.
Fair enough.
Jackson Moore, do you have a question?
Yes, Coach. As mentioned, UNLV hasn't gotten that win yet, but they've played very competitively the last 3 weeks. What are you seeing from them that makes them more dangerous than their record would say?
Well, I think they are playing extremely hard, right? They've got offensive weapons with their tailback and their receiving core. And it seems like every quarterback that they bring in the game is effective. And I know they've had some injuries there, but everybody seems to help them move the football. And then defensively, they're also incredibly opportunistic. You know, I watched most of the game, you know, in real time on Saturday, and, you know, just watching how hard they play, how they're playing with the effort they're playing with. I think that's what makes them dangerous, is that, you know, they are still putting in the effort to play good football, and they're not discouraged about where they're at.
Vitas, going back to you.
Coach, one of the things I noticed from watching the game on Friday was the scramble drill seemed to be effective, but also at times Nash just kind of threw the ball up for grabs. Did you cringe a little when you see that? Because that's not, I'm sure, how you game planned or what you would like to see execution-wise.
No, and to be honest with you, that's a really fine line with Nick, because some of the magic to him is his ability to create and his ability to throw on the run, right? So you're trying to make sure you're trying to get him to a place where when he does make those decisions that he puts the ball in a good spot. You know, I think, you know, the receivers are starting to make plays, and understanding playing with him is a lot different than playing with Starkel. So, you know, I'm hopeful that, you know, I'm excited about Nick and his progress. I felt like he took a real step forward. You know, Friday night against an extremely good defense. So, you know, I guess I'm encouraged by that.
And also, you have your left tackle, Jack Snyder's about to set a record for most career starts by a Spartan. I mean, what can you say just about the impact that he's had over his long tenure here at San Jose State?
You know, Jack is one of the best kids I've ever been around. Incredibly hard worker. He's obviously a good player. You know, he's really, really smart. And so, you know, he wants to be a general manager of a pro sports franchise maybe someday. He's getting his MBA right now. He's awesome. And he works every day. You know, sometimes you get older guys where they've been playing for a long time and they start protecting their body or looking for ways out. Jack's just really smart about how he trains and how he takes care of his body. He practices his tail off every week. And so he's a great leader for our offensive line. He's a great leader for our football team. And he's really like one of the best kids I've ever been around.
But he wasn't nimble enough to score his second career touchdown, huh?
No. And I thought that guy played it really well. I forget who it was, but he played it really, really well. It's disappointing because it would have been fun to get him in right there.
Vic, do you have another question?
Yeah. Back on Nick Nash, how would you quantify maybe his next steps need to be, or is that just going to come with experience?
I think experience is really important, Vic. You know, and that's the hardest part about that position, is that there's no substitute for the speed of it. you know, it's just hard to duplicate that in practice. You try like heck, but and so a lot of that is going to be with experience and with, you know, I know Nick's really frustrated about, you know, his decision at the end of that game. And that's part of his growing process, as hard and as challenging and as difficult as it was. And the thing I told him is that, like, hey, we're in that game because of a lot of the plays you made. And so let's focus on that. And then the mistake at the end, let's work on that too, and just show you the picture and see how it looks and see what you could have done better in that situation.
Steve, do you have another question?
I do not, but thanks for asking.
Jackson Moore?
Yeah, Coach, you've been through a lot on your schedule. About the only box you haven't checked is a 5-day week like UNLV is going through. Just any thoughts on the challenges that your opponent's facing this week rather than yourselves for once?
You know, I think they're, you know, the good thing for them is that they're playing back-to-back home games, right? So there should be some comfort in that they didn't have to travel. You know, they're going to be ready to play. Like I said, I know who that coaching staff is. I've worked with a lot of those guys. They're an excellent group of people. They're going to have that team ready to play. And the fact that that team has played their butts off every week tells me that they're going to be ready no matter how short the week is to get prepared.
Vitas, going back to you.
Coach, when you went back into the locker room on Friday night, it was the first time you were under 500 since 2019. And, you know, you have to win 3 out of your last 5 to be bowl eligible. So there's kind of very little room for error now. What was the mood in the locker room? Were guys angry? Were they quiet? Was it somebody step up, one of the players, or, you know, because you know now that you're almost like your back's against the wall?
To be honest with you, I feel like our back's against the wall every week. And I don't think we look at it that way. You know, and the stuff we talk about in the locker room, that's between the team and our staff. So, but guys were not happy in there, and it was not a joyous occasion. But, you know, it's like all of our conversations with the team and our coaching staff, we have to look at what we did well and what we didn't do well. And it's really that simple. And so guys were excited to come to work on Sunday, and I was encouraged by that.
Caleb, going over to you.
Hey, Coach, Caleb Ramos with the Spear. I was wondering, first game for you to be played at the Allegiant Stadium, and for most players too. Is there anybody really excited to see the new stadium, or does that add any extra motivation and practice to be at that new stadium?
I hope not. I hope they're excited to play. You know what I mean? Like, where we play shouldn't matter so much. And I think as you know, who we're playing, and just the fact that this is our next opportunity to play football, the next opportunity for this team to take the field together. I think we have a really special group of kids that we have. This team loves each other. This team works incredibly hard for each other. They are so connected. And, you know, I think that's where our focus is, like whether we play there or, you know, we played in Levi a couple of years ago. You know, it's just a big NFL stadium that's really shiny.
Kevin, going to you.
Well, coaches, we keep playing quarterback poker here this week. Who do you think the starter will be for UNLV? I know this Cameron Friel, the true freshman, has actually, I thought, looked pretty good. And checking out his stats, obviously a few more interceptions than touchdowns. But to your point, that has to do with reps. But do you expect to see him at quarterback? I know they've had, 4 or 5 guys at quarterback this year.
Yeah, they've really had some, you know, been unfortunate at that position. And we're just trying to get ready for a bunch of different guys, not knowing who it is. And, you know, as I look at the depth chart, you know, they got Brumfield and Friel on here. So, you know, maybe, you know, those are the guys. But either way, we just have to be ready to play. And it really doesn't matter. You know, when you don't know, it's a little bit harder to prepare. So we got to take off the video what we see of all of them playing and try and understand, you know, okay, who's back there? This is kind of how they play. But, you know, Marcus is a very good quarterback coach. He'll have whoever it is ready to go.
Vic, going back to you.
Yeah, with Kyle, I guess, on the line there, and obviously he's going through, you know, his challenges out there. And how is he? Is it bounce of him assessing himself with training staff and, you know, is there any kind of point of diminishing returns where you say, okay, let's just shut it down or whatnot, but you see them there every week, still coming in, going out, and, you know, I guess, you know, just curious on your comments or thoughts on that.
You know, any medical decisions don't ever sit with me, ever. So that's the
Right.
training staff, our team doctors, and Kyle. So all I know is that I love Kyle Hoppy. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever been around. I mean, he is
Absolutely.
crazy tough,
Yep.
crazy tough. And I love it when he's on the field for us. I know our whole team does.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Thank y'all. Have a good one.
All right, thank you everybody for showing up. And once again, Spartans on the road against UNLV on Thursday, 8 o'clock kick. CBS Sports Network and KTRB AM 860 will have the coverage beginning at 7:30. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week.